You're standing in a river valley in what will one day be called Italy, 6,000 years before anyone writes a single word down. Smoke drifts sideways over the water. Someone across the fire looks at you a half-second too long. Your pulse jumps. Your palms go damp. There is no name for this yet, no song written about it, no one to text about it later. Just a feeling your whole body already recognizes. Compare that to last night. A swipe. A read receipt. 300 apps standing between you and that exact same ancient jolt. No fire. No smoke. Same racing heart. So how did ancient humans do this? Find love, keep it, defend it, with no apps, no love songs, no word for the feeling at all. Everyone assumes romantic love is basically a modern invention, candlelit restaurants, Hallmark, a marketing category dressed up as an emotion. The truth is almost the opposite. In 1992, anthropologists William Jankowiak and Edward Fisher combed through ethnographic records from 166 different cultures across the globe, searching for hard signs of passionate love, longing, elopement, love songs. The specific ache of missing one particular person. They found it in 147 of those cultures. That's 88. 5%, spread across societies that had never traded with each other, never shared a myth, never even known the others existed. Their checklist wasn't vague. Personal accounts of longing. Love songs or folklore built around it. Elopements driven by mutual affection, not arranged alliances. Only 19 cultures showed no clear evidence, and even there, researchers suspect it was underreported, not absent, since for most of the 20th century anthropologists simply weren't trained to look for it. Translation, romantic love isn't a Western export. It's closer to a species-wide operating system that happened to pick up a French name along the way. So, if the feeling is universal, what's actually happening underneath it? Everyone assumes falling in love is, at its core, a feeling, something poetic, something chosen. The truth is closer to a craving, and the scans prove it. In 2005, biological anthropologist Helen Fisher, working with Arthur Aron and Lucy Brown at Rutgers University, put 17 people who described themselves as intensely in love inside an fMRI machine. Researchers showed them a photo of their partner, then a photo of a casual acquaintance, back and forth, again and again. Every single time the partner's photo appeared, the same two regions lit up, the ventral tegmental area and the caudate nucleus, both drenched in dopamine. Both part of the brain's reward circuit, the same circuitry that activates on cocaine, not the parts of the brain built for sentiment. 17 people, 17 different lives, and the same 2 dots of light every time. That means the hardware for romantic obsession isn't some modern glitch. It's older than agriculture, older than cities, older than the word relationship itself. And it explains something almost everyone recognizes but rarely names, why new love feels less like happiness and more like a mild, pleasant obsession you can't quite switch off. Love left a mark on the brain. Did it leave one on the ground? In February 2007, archaeologist Elena Maria Menotti led a dig near Valdaro, just outside Mantua, Italy, the same river country from the opening scene. Her team uncovered a Neolithic double grave, roughly 6,000 years old, holding 2 skeletons face to face, arms and legs wrapped completely around each other. Double burials from this era are rare on their own. A man and a woman buried together in an embrace is close to unheard of, the only confirmed example of its kind in northern Italy. Everyone's first assumption was tragedy. A flint arrowhead near the man's neck, blades tucked near the woman's pelvis. A murder. A double suicide, a Neolithic Romeo and Juliet. The truth, once the bones went under a microscope, was quieter. No fractures. No trauma. No microtrauma anywhere on either skeleton. The flints were grave goods, placed there on purpose. Which means somebody, a parent, a partner, an entire grieving village, chose to bury these 2 exactly like this. 2 people, no older than 20, barely over 5 feet tall, positioned so carefully that 6,000 years of dirt still hasn't pulled them apart. Love left a mark on the ground. But biologically, why do humans even bother pairing up at all, when almost no other mammal does? Everyone assumes pair bonding exists because it simply feels good, because evolution rewarded tenderness for its own sake. The truth is colder than that. and far more useful. In 2013, anthropologist Kit Opie and colleagues at University College London analyzed 230 primate species, running statistical models to trace which behavior evolved first: fatherly care, monogamy, or violence. The study, published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, found social monogamy in roughly 29% of primate species. Remarkably high, since fewer than 5% of mammals overall pair for life. Among birds, it's closer to 90%, but birds got there for entirely different reasons. Primates, the study argued, got there through fear. The trigger wasn't affection. It was infanticide. When unrelated males kill infants to bring females back into fertility faster, staying loyal to one partner, someone who will actually guard the child, becomes the safer math, generation after generation. So fathers didn't start sticking around because love got invented first, something that looks a great deal like love got selected for, because sticking around kept a baby alive. Here's what's actually underneath the obvious question. The feeling is universal. Jankowiak and Fisher found it on nearly every continent on Earth. The feeling is chemical. Fisher's scans caught it lighting up like a drug. The feeling leaves physical evidence. 2 skeletons outside Mantua are still holding on. And the feeling didn't start as romance at all. It started as insurance against a species that would, without hesitation, kill an unprotected infant to speed up its own odds. The love songs came later. The poetry came later. The candlelight, the rings, the read receipts, all of it came later. What came first was 2 people deciding, over and over, for 100,000 years, not to face the worst parts of being human alone. Go back to that river valley. The fire, the half-second glance, the pulse you couldn't explain. That feeling wasn't new even then. It was already older than fire itself, running on hardware built for a species that could not survive alone. Now zoom back out to last night. The swipe, the read receipt. The 300 apps standing between you and that same ancient jolt. Strip away the screens, and it's the exact same bet a Neolithic farmer made by firelight, 6,000 years before anyone called it dating, a bet that someone else's presence is worth more than the risk of needing them. 6,000 years later, 2 strangers are still holding on outside Mantua, arms locked long after their hands forgot how to feel anything at all. Proof that love was never the new invention here. Loneliness was.